Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sheila Joe and happy Memorial Day. Let's get into reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 4. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. So the show starts out where Tisha, Kimmy, and Destiny basically meet up, and Destiny, when she walks in, she's like, "They're my girls. They've been there for her throughout her divorce." But I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, they're so high school to me. I don't know. For you to have to say that, I think it's kind of like a dig to say that they're her friends and Melody isn't. That's kind of the way I'm taking it. But she did say that they've been her friends throughout her divorce. But I'm like, wait, in the previous season, didn't you say that nobody really knew about your divorce? So I don't know. I can't buy with Destiny. I just don't understand how these ladies kind of want to just flaunt that they have a friendship that doesn't include Mel. That's kind of the way it comes off to me, but maybe I'm also biased because I really like Mel. Anyway, of course they talked about the whole Sunny conversation, but to me it's just not interesting. I just don't see being with someone for 15 years and then all of a sudden they marry your producer like after 6 months. Like, this storyline, just, I don't know, I just can't connect with that. It doesn't make sense to me. I have so many questions that I'm not going to get answers to. They're not going to be answered in the episodes, I'm sure. And so I really feel like it is just a storyline for Destiny to have something to talk about, honestly. So I'm moving on from that. They talked about Tisha being able to be cordial with Stormy, and of course Destiny being cordial with Mel. And if they could be, cordial, and if they're all in the same room. I don't understand the whole Tisha beef. Yeah, Stormy, call your man a BAN, but like, really, you're gonna hold a grudge because of that? I really think that's also just a storyline for Tisha, and a way for her to kind of like show that she's more vocal now. That's about it. I really don't think they have beef in real life. I do think it's a fake beef. And Destiny, to me, don't really have a real reason to be upset with Mel. Like, I just feel like I just can't connect with these stories because it just don't make sense. Like, why are you still upset with Mel? I don't get it. And to say, oh, I don't know, like, you're so mad you don't want to go there with her, or whatever your statement was. But then at the same time, like, what did she really do? Can you please answer that? If you hear this, can you write in my comment section, why are you really upset with Mel? What did she really do that was so bad? And then in your interview with Give Me the Real Tea, I think it was, and I really don't hold any animosity towards any content creators when I do bring your name up. It's just because that person was on your platform. But basically saying that, or implying that maybe LeBerick and Melody may have something going on, it's kind of like she just wants to do that because Melody was saying something about Destiny texting Martell really late at night and stuff like that. And to me, as a friend, I just don't do that. That's just not part of my DNA. It's nobody's business. But anyway, had to throw that in there. Anyway, so so I just don't understand Destiny's beef with Melody at all. So I'm just looking at this episode and just like, it's just so hard for me to kind of like, I don't know, like, is this real? Like, is it really scripted? Maybe Martell is onto something. I don't know. But that's kind of what the question I have to Carlos. Is this really real? Because why are they acting like they don't know nothing about the revenge P? Why are they acting like, this whole Sunny thing is brand new? I just don't get it. It just doesn't connect because I guess maybe social media content creators, they've kind of like, we've seen a lot of the things maybe behind the scenes, and maybe that's what's ruining the show for us. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to disconnect from social media and then I'll be able to enjoy the show. I'm just trying to figure out like why I'm so disconnected from all these storylines this season. But let's go on. So next, Nell and Martell meet up and they're discussing, of course, the whole text message situation that he sent to Melody, which also included a picture, but they're kind of not discussing the actual picture, just the text message, because I think Martell deleted that from his phone, and then of course probably they won't show it on television either way. Anyway, he basically denies any wrongdoing. But Martell, did you forget you admitted it on Queen Sheba's YouTube channel? Like, you admitted it in her interview. I don't get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, are they thinking like he's really just trying to kind of like backpedal? So I don't know. I just don't understand Martell. But I'm going to say this again. Dude, to me, in my opinion, you started the fire, and not only did you demean Melody, her being a parent, her being a person overall, a woman overall, but your side chick, dude, she was also being so disrespectful. So she was getting bullets from everybody, even people on the cast, because they were believing whatever you were telling them. So, I don't know. So then it just makes me upset for Nell to say that she doesn't even agree with Martell being arrested. But I'm looking at her like, if I was Melody's friend, as you guys say that you're friends, like, why are you saying this? You know, right is right, wrong is wrong. He did something wrong, so what do you want her to do? I want Nell to answer that question. What would you have wanted her to do? If that was your daughter, what would you want your daughter to do? So I have an issue with that whole statement Nell is making about he shouldn't have been arrested. She doesn't agree. Anyway, then Nell kind of compares her issue with her stepdaughter and Chris, and Martell basically calls her a side chick. And of course he's laughing while he's saying it. And I agree with Nell when she said in her confessional that Martell basically takes everything as a game. He doesn't see the future. It's like he's like a little kid and just looking at what's for today, but not really looking at how things can affect you in the future. Anyway, I'm going to do another recap of I think it was Marcel's interview with Dustin that they did, and to me Marcel said some pretty interesting points, so I want to kind of touch on that as well, but I'll do that in a separate video. Anyway, and so Nell basically then says that she's not going to invite Martell to her birthday party, and in the confessional Martell says he don't even care about going to a 60 plus birthday party, and I thought that was kind of like some fun shade. Anyway, next Maurice and Marceau, they met up with Moses to I guess give him some advice because of the whole Sunny situation, and he was asking them if they're going to move down to Huntsville, that it's booming, it's building up, and things like that. In this scene, Maurice basically trying to clear up the fact that Kimmy isn't a side chick, even though there's still question marks all around my head about that. And then Marceau also basically saying how his marriage was attacked since he's been filming for Love and Marriage Huntsville by the fans or by people that view the show, and how he almost lost his marriage. And I'm thinking, when did this happen? Like, why this never came out seasons ago? We're on season 8. Like, why this hasn't come out seasons ago? Now it seems like they want to give you tidbits to kind of keep something going, but I'm just not like, I've been watching this from season 1, so I'm a season 1 fan. I've been watching this from season 1. Why this didn't come out throughout those seasons? I don't know. I just don't get that part. So that makes me a little bit frustrated with this season, because I feel like, are they really being authentic? Once again, Carlos, I don't know. Maybe Martell was onto something by saying that this was not, that this is kind of scripted. It's not really reality. I'm not sure. Next, Trish, Ken, Stormy, and Courtney met up at the gym. In this scene, we learned that Trish is still married. but her and Ken have been dating for 2 years. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to unfold. But that to me was probably the only interesting part relating to the two of them. I mean, I'm not going to touch base on her family situation because to me, I sympathize with her on that. Other than that, I do appreciate Stormy kind of pointing out that she has some crazy moments, and she didn't say the word crazy, but she was like, basically she would stab the grass and do, I always say crazy things like that throughout her relationship with Courtney, or maybe at the beginning of the relationship, but Courtney could handle it. But girl, if you was married to Martell, you would have been on Tasha K. That's all I'm gonna say. So I wanted to kind of point that out. Anyway, after kind of like seeing this episode and seeing Trish and Ken being introduced, I really thought about Carson Blue. And I really wish Carlos would have brought Carson Blue and her family on the show. I think they would have brought in a different set of fans, a different perspective, different dynamic, because they're not really friends with everyone on the show, but they do have some connections. Same thing as Trish, I guess, but Trish is friends with Stormy, but Carson has some connections with Tisha, and then now has some connections with Melody because of the RP. So I really wish Carlos would have brought Carson Blue on. I was hoping I would see that this season, that would be one surprise, but oh well. I don't know, maybe another season. Next, Martell meets up with Chris at his new investment property, and they give a tour of whatever the property. And Chris says he may have someone interested in buying it because they want to live on the outskirts of Huntsville. Then basically Chris brings up the whole Nell situation by Martell calling Nell a side chick, which to me, they just kind of shook it off, whatever. Then they go into the whole RP situation, and Martell is now saying he doesn't have a video, but he admitted on Queen Sheba that he did. So this is what's so frustrating with Martell, his inconsistencies. This is the big issue with the entire, almost everybody on the cast, is that they're not consistent. It's so frustrating. Anyway, when Chris asked him, was it a picture, was it a video, and he's kind of like Martell is backpedaling. He's basically trying to say he doesn't have the video, that Mel is the only person that has it. He did send a picture. Chris even asked, was it a picture of, them naked or whatever, and Martell couldn't even really answer that. So he didn't say anything, really basically pushing it back on Mel. Ask her to see the picture. Why don't you ask Mel? I don't know. Martell is just full of it. He is really just full of it. And man, I feel sorry for Melody to have to deal with someone like him, because it's really sad that he didn't realize what he had. And he's trying to portray an image to me that's really not who he is. And it's sad to see, because I really liked the Holts at the very beginning. They were, nice looking family, and it was just nice to see that on TV. We hadn't seen that for a while. And so it's really disappointing, I guess, to see how things have turned out between the two of them. But to see how Martell is now behaving is deplorable, Maurice. Not the Millimeters, not Melody supporters, Marceau, Maurice. Martell is deplorable. So the last scene, Destiny meets up with Moses to, I guess, clear the air and maybe get closure, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, basically what I got from this scene is that Moses trying to say that they started dating after, or Sonny and him started dating after him and Destiny. Destiny said that that's not true. They stopped dating in August, and how Moses wanted her to date him like he was the girlfriend. I thought that was something to say right there. Now that was a clap back. So that was a good thing, Destiny, to say. Destiny then said Moses sent her money in August and was texting her up until then. Either way, to me, Destiny, like, why should you even care at this point? Because they're married. Like, I don't know. And girl, what's wrong with your finances? Like, why everybody giving you money? You have a son, like, I just don't get it. Like, this is just another piece of a story from Destiny that I just can't connect with because I don't understand. Like, she's never really spoke about hardships besides the fact that I guess during the Madani situation, the closing of Madani, during that point. So I don't know. Anyway, it's just too many gray areas, I guess, with Destiny. That's the reason why I find it really hard to connect with her. The scene kind of ends there, and I'm just wondering if she is going to kind of show those receipts, those text messages between her and Moses to kind of like solidify what she's saying, because a lot of things that Destiny says, it's always this, but then you go somewhere else on an interview or something, then it's a total different thing. So it's hard to connect. So I don't know. Let's see how the next episode pans out, because it said to be continued. So their conversation will go on in episode 5, and I will be reviewing it then. Overall, to me, I'm a little bit kind of disappointed in the season so far, because I really felt that social media and being, the YouTube streets is a little bit more exciting, but also it's kind of like I kind of already know everything, and I don't know why the cast is acting like they don't know certain things. So because of that, I'll rate it about a 6. There was some good points. There are some good things that I can kind of pick out that I mentioned throughout my review, but for the most part, yeah, I'll rate it probably a 6. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave your feedback in the comments. This is Sheila Joe. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.